Hello, it's me, it's Marcos. Welcome to Spill It. Welcome to Spill It. My name is Marcus, and this is a show where I get to speak to inspirational people and share inspirational stories to connect people together, inspire people, and help you learn something new. This episode is no different. This is episode 46, Life Lessons, and Amy Sinha will be joining us at 7:10 p.m. So make sure that you stay tuned for that. Don't forget as well to like, share, and comment if you're watching this now via Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch TV. Just drop me a quick like and drop me a quick comment just saying hi, what's up, ask me how I am, whatever you want to do. Just comment something to let me know who you are, what you're watching, and where you're watching. Do that. Also, don't forget as well to hit that share button. Let's get this far and wide. These stories that I speak to people about are brilliant. They share their stories, they pour their heart out, they talk about their inspirational messages and motivational quotes and all that lot. And those messages are brilliant to get the word out there. So make sure that you share it so other people can come into the Spill It fold. If you haven't checked out other episodes yet, make sure that you do. Make sure you head over to www.spillit.uk to catch up, whether that be through all of the other episodes through season 1 via Facebook or YouTube or Twitch, or you can catch up via podcast, via your preferred podcasting streaming method, whether that be Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, or even Spotify. There are others out there, but they're the 3 major ones, let's be honest. So keep those comments and questions rolling through. Linda is here. Morning, how's the mouth? My mouth is fine, thank you very much. So for those who don't know, I had some work done in my mouth. It still hurts a little bit, but it still hurts a little bit, but it's a lot better than what it was yesterday. Yesterday I could not speak, and here I am. I'm talking, and it's fine. Yvonne, hello. I'm watching you, Marcus. Get on with it, lol. You, Yvonne. Love it. Thank you so much, guys. Keep those comments rolling through, and obviously hit that share button as well. Keep the comments rolling in because I want to interact with you guys as well. And I'm sure that you'll have some questions for Amy as well. Amy's got a brilliant story to tell, and I'm sure that you guys will have comments and questions in regards to Amy's story, which is phenomenal, by the way, guys. It's phenomenal. Okay, announcements. Are you ready for some announcements? Number 1 is the ease of lockdown. Okay. So on Monday, we saw the easing of lockdown restrictions. How many people have been to a pub on the inside or a restaurant on the inside? What was your experience like? Talk about it. Let's talk about it in the comments. I have not been to a restaurant yet, and I've not been to the inside of a pub. I'm still, and this is like me, I'm still quite weary about things, about being indoors. And I mean, I've just had my first vaccine as well. So I've had the first stage of my vaccine. I had the Pfizer. My arm was dead. It was completely dead. But what has your experience been like? And what have you been looking forward to the most? We were also allowed to hug people. Yeah, we could hug people from Monday. Obviously with caution, hug friends and family. But yeah, what was the first thing that you have done, or what are you planning to do with the ease of lockdown, and what are you looking forward to the most when it comes to further easing of restrictions? You'd be disappointed if I didn't say it. I would be disappointed, Yvonne. It's like your catchphrase now. I tell you what, Yvonne, I'm thinking I might get you a t-shirt with it on. How's that? Would you like a t-shirt with "Get on with it"? I think you'll rock that t-shirt myself. Okay, next announcement is the last few weeks to vote. Yes, it is the last few weeks to vote. You can vote for me. I am up for a national award. It's the National Diversity Award for Positive Role Model of 2021. It is less than 4 weeks left In fact, it's probably like less than a few weeks now, actually. It is less than, it's less than 4 weeks. We're just about to get to the 3 week mark, or just under 3 weeks. In fact, yeah, it's just under 3 weeks. It is the 4th of June. So voting closes on the 4th of June. And then I will find out if I've been shortlisted a couple of weeks after that. Now, what that means is if you head over to the Spill It website, obviously, thank you so much to everybody who's voted so far. But if you head over to the Spill It website at www.spillit.uk, it's scrolling across the bottom of the screen at the moment. On the main page, you'll be able to see where you can cast your vote. And if you think that, you want to vote for me, then that's fine. Head over to there and you'll be able to vote for me to win the award of the Positive Role Model 2021. It'll be so cool to win that. I'll find out if I win it on the 4th of February in 2022. But as right now, if you are wanting to cast a vote, then please do so. Head over and before the 4th of June. All you have to do is type it in a little box and just say why you think I should win. Press submit, and that is your work done. That is it, done. And then a couple of weeks after that, I will find out if I've been shortlisted. And then if I have been shortlisted, I'll be invited down to Liverpool on the 4th of February, 2022, to hopefully win the award, which would be absolutely epic, right? Emmy, no one deserves it more. Thank you so much, Emmy. I really appreciate that. Kirsty Parker, I can't wait to get on the dance floor. You and me both. You and me both. I just want to be on the middle of a dance floor somewhere, completely inebriated and just dancing away. Like, that's all I want to do. Yvonne, I'm not in any rush to go to a pub, but I understand why people are. Yeah, exactly. I understand why people are. A lot of people have been cooped up, and let's be honest, nobody should be judging. People do things what they feel comfortable doing. They go to their own limits. So yeah, I get it. I get why people are going out to the pubs and going out to restaurants and things like that. And there are a lot of people out there who will not be ready yet, and that is perfectly fine, and that is their choice. I personally don't feel ready yet to do the things that I used to do, but it doesn't mean that's going to be me going forward all the time. I'm just waiting for more research to come out, more statistics, more relaxation of lockdown measures before I start making decisions about where I'm going to be going. But each to their own, and we've all got to play it by our own capabilities, by our own safety measures. We all have our own safety measures, don't we? So yeah. And your big comment, Yvonne, I'm assuming is for your t-shirt. I will get you a t-shirt that just says "Get on with it," and I expect you to wear it all the time. If you get shortlisted, when you get yes, when I get shortlisted, I'll say if. I don't want to jinx it, but yeah. I'm mesmerized every now and again. The reflection of your ring light in your glasses is lining up with your pupils, and you look magical. You mean I'm not already magical, Emmy? Okay, and last announcement is, if you are wanting one of the amazing Spill It hats, which are the brand new merchandise from Spill It, you can win one today. That's right, you can win one today. If you are wanting one, all you have to do is comment #SpillIt. If you comment #SpillIt, you'll be put into a draw to win a Spill It beanie hat at the end of today's show. It is as simple as that. So make sure that you flood the comments with #SpillIt, and you'll be put into a draw to win your beanie hat. And I'll do the draw at the end, because right now it is 7:10. And what did I say happens at 7:10? It means that is the time that we bring out Amy Sinha. So along with your #SpillIts, please can you give a nice warm Spill It welcome to Amy Sinha. I want to see plenty of emojis. I want to see your favorite emoji, plenty of teacups. I want to see it all, because here she is. It is the lady of the hour. It is Amy Sinha.
Hey.
Hello.
That was a good build up. I like that.
It was such a good build. I love a good build up. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you? I loved everything you were saying in the beginning, and I had a Pfizer one as well. Actually, I had my first dose.
Oh, did you?
Vaccine. I had a dead arm for like 48 hours. It was awful, like I'd been shot or something. Not that I know. I've never been shot before, but I'm sure.
Honestly, it was like so bad. Like my arm was it felt like so heavy as well. I was just like, oh my god, I can't touch it, I can't like move it. I was like, oh no. And then we had carpet fitters in the house, and they were asking me to like move things around, and I was like, I can't, I've got one arm. Yeah, it was horrible. But yeah, it's I've had mine, so I've had my first one now. I'll be expecting to get my next one in like 11 weeks or however long it is. Plenty of people in the comments saying hello to you as well. Yvonne's in the comments saying hi. We have Carolyn that's joined saying hi as well. And then Yvonne's message saying that she has had the AstraZeneca as well. Oh. There you go.
I'd like to know how her response is. My elder sister had the AstraZeneca, and within like a few hours, she had a high fever, temperature. All night she was hallucinating. She was quite bad for.
Wow. We have Kirsty that said something similar. So I had AstraZeneca. I was really poorly after it. Ooh. Yvonne, let us know what your symptoms were after you had your AstraZeneca. Emmy also had AstraZeneca. Dead painful arm for over a week. Wow. Right. Well, moving on. Are you ready to play a little game?
Oh gosh, okay, go on then.
Okay, here we go. It's the game of the hour. It is the 5-second rule. That's right. It is the 5-second rule. Now, this is a game that I play with all of my guests. It's just a bit of an icebreaker game. It's just a little bit of fun. And it's just a way for us to smile and get to know you just a little bit better. Because obviously you've got your story to tell. And we want to know like the little bits that you're not going to tell us. So yeah, we want you to spill it all. So all I will say is that I will name name 3 things. So you need to name those 3 things within 5 seconds. Okay. Now, last week's guest got 1 out of 9. So you've got to beat 1 out of 9, okay? Which I'm sure that you will.
Hang on, you're going to ask me 9 questions.
Name 3 things. You've got to name 9 things in total. So I'll ask you, it'll be 3 rounds.
Oh, right.
So your first one is to name 3 things that we'll find in your bedside table.
A lamp, tissues, and a necklace.
Oh, just in time. Well done. That was literally just in time. Name 3 smells that make you gag.
Oh God, gas. Oh God, I know ammonia.
I'll count ammonia. You got 2. That was just in time. Well done. And your last one. Name 3 things you do when no one is looking.
Yawn a lot. Oh God, I don't know.
Well, you got 5. You got 5 out of 9. So congratulations, you beat last week's guest.
That's really hard. I really don't know what I do when people are not looking. I'm not even gonna. I don't know.
Well, just a little bit of fun. Did you have fun with that?
I did, yes.
Good. Well, let's move on. Let's do this. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question that I ask absolutely every single person, and it is the same question every single week. Who is Amy Sinha?
Amy Sinha. Oh my gosh. Okay, so when people ask me that, I always say actually what I do. So I am a voiceover artist, and I've been a singer since I can remember. And I graduated from Leeds Music College, and then I also went into presenting. So
wow,
Amy Sinha is a woman of voice.
A woman of voice. I love it. What type of voiceovers have you done? Are there things that we would recognize or whatnot?
Probably not. I have done animation, but it's probably on a local level. But I've done voicemail for international companies in America. I've also done podcast intros and outros. I've done explainer videos for websites. And right now I'm actually working on a poetry reading for a museum in New York. So it's kind of varied. It's varied stuff.
You've got Yvonne just in the comments saying, yeah, a proper singer, brilliant. And Carolyn spelt your name wrong earlier, so she's just apologizing for spelling your name wrong earlier in the comments.
That's all right. There's many versions of my name. It's fine.
So tell us a little bit about your history then. Where did it all come from?
Well, the singing and the
everything. Let's spill it all.
Okay, so it all came from. So when I was younger, I suffered from quite a few disabilities. So when I was 1, I had cataract, which did leave me almost blind, but the surgery was amazing. So he did leave a little bit of my eyesight, which is great. So now I wear quite thick glasses or contact lenses, but I still kind of I only have 20% vision, which I'm grateful for, but it means I can't see, so I can't really recognize people on the street. And the one good thing I can say about Zoom is that people have their names and they're easy to recognize. I'm going to miss that. I miss that now when I go outside because I don't really recognize people. They don't have their names. And I go, no, I can't remember. I know, crazy. And then also when I was 4 years old, I got diagnosed with a rare medical condition, which is called sensory neuropathy type 2, which means that I can't feel hot or cold or pain. So I used to burn myself a lot and step on and things like that, which is quite really lethal, really. And healing is like a diabetic. I'm not diabetic, but I heal really slowly. So a burn or a cut is quite bad because it lasts for a long time and it can get infected.
Is that something that develops, or is that something that you were born with, or what?
I don't know. We don't know. It just came to light when I was 4. And I asked this question and my parents don't know. And so I don't know. They must have, the hospital must have done a test. But I can't tell you. So maybe I developed it.
That's crazy. Because I'm just trying to think of when you were younger, like a toddler or whatever. And if you would have felt anything, like toddlers fall over all the time. And I'm just wondering if you would have felt something, but obviously you wouldn't know that. It would be up to your parents really to notice if you did come across something had injured you, as in you felt that, if you will. What a crazy situation. So what's the earliest memory that you have of that type of thing that didn't cause you pain?
I think I remember always having gloves on my hand because my mum used to put gloves on my hand so I wouldn't scratch myself or burn anything. And by having really thick glasses, and I think maybe we didn't know if I could fall because I couldn't see, so I didn't used to move around much. They didn't realize I couldn't see, obviously, until I was 1 year old. They're like, oh, she's really quiet. So I guess there's a lot of things that you kind of just don't think of because your mind is on other stuff. That is my first memory of always having gloves, and we've got pictures, and I do look cute, don't get me wrong, the thick glasses and the baby grow and the gloves on my hands. I'm like, oh.
What was it like being in school with obviously wearing glasses and the gloves? What was that like?
I think it was difficult because they didn't know that I couldn't feel either. I think I didn't go to reception because I had all these problems. I didn't go to nursery. So I started at age 4. So I missed a little bit of those years that, just the little that you get to socialize. So I was really quiet and I would only play with my sister, who was 2 years older than me. So I think school was a little bit difficult. I think maybe I was clingy to my sister because I knew her.
Yvonne has said, but that will heighten other senses. Did it heighten your other senses?
I don't know. Maybe there's only smelling left, wasn't it? Smelling and tasting. I appreciate what you said. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, because I wasn't. The problem is I wasn't completely blind, so I could see a little bit. So hearing, I don't know. I can't remember. Maybe it did. I don't know.
Yeah, because I suppose with it happening so young, then you wouldn't notice any difference of anything else, would you? So so growing up, obviously, you've gone to school, you've got these two conditions. Quick question, actually: with regards to these conditions, are these something? Well, obviously the cataracts, but with the touch one, is that something that you experience now?
Oh yeah, all of it.
Wow.
All of it. So I can't cook, and I think people don't realize, they kind of take it for granted. Going into a kitchen is kind of, for me, it's like going to like a house of knives. Like, there's like even a grater. When I used to use the grater, and literally I used to cut my finger because I couldn't tell. And because my fingers, I have problem feeling, so I grip things really really tightly, and actually that can cause quite damaging effects. So I mean, I do use the kettle, but really I have to be careful. And sometimes my brain forgets. I'm like, oh gosh, did I touch the main kettle? Did I touch the main toaster? It's kind of like I get a little bit freaked out then. So I'm there checking my hands if I burn myself. So the kitchen can be quite a dangerous place for me. So yeah, no, I stay away from that.
Right. So growing up, so what happened next? Obviously, you're in school. You're obviously experiencing all of this. Continue your story.
So other part of the illness was that I got osteoarthritis, and that came to light at the age of 9. And so the doctors didn't know. This is back in the 80s, so they only knew it in old people. So they said that I should stop moving around, which was the worst thing I could have done because I was actually quite active. And when they said stop moving, I stopped going on my bike and roller skating, and then things became really, really bad. So then when I was a teenager, I just used to watch TV like all the time because there was nothing else that I could do. And my lack of movement became so great that literally I couldn't stand up. It was like a marathon just to stand up. Walking from one end of the room to the other was just dreadful. I just couldn't do it. Going shopping, just a nightmare. Again, things that teenagers love. I just hated it. So that was really bad. Yeah. So walking around, and I went to a private school, which is small, but so that, yeah, it was good though, because it was a small thing. So because of my eyesight, they kind of gave me the extra attention that I needed for that. But music, I guess, was always there. My family was very musical, 2 older sisters, so we always sung, and we always wanted to be a girl group. It never really happened. We got strong personalities, yeah, unfortunately. So and they were really good, actually. They were actually more, because they were very outgoing. They did drama, so they loved musicals. They were more confident than I was. But they didn't end up doing music. I did, funnily enough, which is a little bit crazy. So then I went on to college at 16, and I was actually in the same year as Catherine Jenkins. We were on the same.
Oh wow!
Year. Yeah, so that's how long ago this was. But yeah, but I was kind of always, I love jazz. I was classically trained, but classical wasn't really my passion, but I absolutely loved jazz songs, and they really encouraged me. Then the music scene was really, really like the focal point, because the principal at the time was married to the music teacher, and they just loved music. So everything was about music and the performing arts, and so then they encouraged me to kind of go on to jazz, and I went to graduate from music college in Leeds. And that was amazing as well, because it gave me I love jazz. Literally, I could listen to it all night and all day, all that little stuff, all the just the music, pretentious stuff, the solos that go on for hours. But I could actually sit there and listen to all of that, which I can't now, but I could.
I absolutely love jazz. Jazz is like, I don't know, it kind of resonates something within me where I'm just, I don't know, I find music that speaks to kind of like your soul, if that makes sense. Like, just, I don't know, it's on another level for me altogether. I absolutely love the saxophone. I think the saxophone is the most beautiful instrument like ever. Like, and I will fight anybody who says otherwise. Like, literally the saxophone is my favorite instrument ever. I'm just wanting to kind of link what your experiences were with music, because obviously you found a passion with music. Was that, do you think that came because of how you was feeling at the time, with obviously the things that you were going through? What was that like?
I think the jazz was. I think that's the reason I like the multi-layered parts of all the jazz, because my mind was so complicated, because I was having to go through all of that stuff. And I think I really resonated with those complexities of, that genre, and the pop stuff didn't feel, I just didn't feel anything. It was just too simple, too easy, and I've got this, I guess, gift that I can listen to a song and I can memorize it really, really quickly. But the one downside to that is that when you're listening to the radio and the same song comes on all the time, it's just maddening. Like, when you hate it and I'm like, they're singing it and I'm like, no, it's horrible. That's the only problem. But yeah, no, I think, and it's funnily enough, I think as I've grown older and I've kind of worked through everything, jazz isn't so, I love it, don't get me wrong, but I'm not obsessed with it like I used to be. I think because my mind has just kind of worked itself out, and I kind of actually like the more simplistic songs, and I listen to it every day now, which is saying something, I think, which is a good thing, I think.
Definitely. So what happens after that then? So obviously you graduated in Leeds, did you say?
Mm-hmm.
What was the journey after that?
Journey after that, oh God, I came back. I was highly depressed. I'm not going to talk about my pop idol escapade, which was absolutely dreadful. I think I was going through some mental breakdown because I really didn't know what I was going to do. No, don't ask me that.
No. We are going to rewind slightly. We're going to talk about this pop idol thing. You're not skipping, but you can't drop a bomb like that and then hope to skip past it. Let's hear it. Let's hear all the details.
Oh God. Okay. Well, what happened was it was coming to the end of my final year, and then my friends go, Amy, they're doing Pop Idol. This is back when I think it was the second year of Pop Idol, and they were in Manchester. So they go, come on, and I hadn't been to Manchester at that point. I was like, all right, okay, let's have a day out in Manchester and audition for Pop Idol. So I got a group of friends to go with me, and because I just trained in jazz, and that's one of the most difficult genres to learn. And I'm not the pop person. I'm just not all peppy and happy. I mean, I'm happy, but I'm not just like they show, all the because they're in, okay, let's be great, and isn't this amazing? And these video cameras going around, going, ooh, which one do you have a crush on, Ant or Dec? And I was just like, okay, which one is who? I have no idea. So, it's kind of like that. So I made something up, and I don't really like either of them. But do you know what I mean? Things like that, and let's all get going. And I think I think the good thing that came out of that is that I never wanted to audition for a reality show after that, because I saw how it was. So we had to audition in front of producers. It's not an easy process as they make it out to be. So you audition in front of producers about 2 or 3 times on the day. And if they like you, they put you through. And this is the one thing you see. So producers want to make a good show. So they're telling everyone you're really good. That's why I'm putting you through. And I was hearing some people, and I'm not saying anything, but they weren't the best singers, and still they were being putting through because the producer says you're really good. So when you get those people on TV, and then Simon Cowell or them lot going, how do you really think that you're that good? And they're going, yeah, well, yes, of course, because they've been told. So, I heard this, and then you're kind of thinking, well, are you actually good or not? What are they through for comic value? I was put through, yes. I think I should have just stopped then, and I shouldn't have gone back. So they make you go back a week later, and that's when the judges, but before the judges, again, you have to audition in front of the producers again, and then they put you through, or they don't, and then I did get through to put in front of the actual judges. It was like I was lifted out of my body. It was that out of body moment experience. It was just absolutely dreadful. I walked in, I saw these cameras. I realized that I was camera phobic. I did not realize that before that. They had all these video cameras either side, and I just froze. I was just like, and they were asking me the question, and I had like one-word answers because I was outside my body. I didn't sing the best that I could have. I was like a bit robotic. It was good. That's fine, but there's nothing wow, and because I'm quite small. So Simon Cowell, I just remember him going, oh, you're a funny little thing, aren't you? And I was just like, okay. And he goes, well, you don't have the best voice. And I was like, all right, okay. And then I think Pete Waterman put in, they all have to say something, and he was like, oh, maybe you should try cruise ships, because obviously they're singing jazz and cruise ships. I see why he said that. And it was funny because obviously Dr. Fox was there at the time, isn't he? I don't know if he's in prison now or if he's done for yeah, he was there at the time, and another woman, and I can't remember her name. So yeah, it just was not. I mean, many good things came out of that, but yeah, Pop Idol. And then again, you get cameras round going, oh, how do you feel? How do you feel about this? And I just wouldn't give them anything, so they let me alone. It was just. No.
Yvonne has said, "You're too good for Pop Idol. I've auditioned myself. It's like a conveyor belt. It's awful." And then
well, that's
and then
something.
she, and then she said, "I was in a tiny room with a bored-looking producer. It's more classical, but wasn't upset I didn't get through."
Hmm.
But yeah, you're too good for Pop Idol.
Well, I'm not a pop person, and I just went there. I think it was good because I don't like, when I think before it's like, oh yeah, I really want to go on these shows, and when everyone always says, oh, have you thought about auditioning for The Voice or the Pop Idol? And I'm like, literally, I don't feel like anything that I'm losing anything by going. No, I'm not. I don't want to. Yeah.
We've talked about it on this show before, where I've had a couple of guests who have either auditioned or they don't ever want to audition, and it's because of experiences like this, and it produces. It's basically like a shortcut route, if you will, to get into the industry. And actually, sometimes it's more beneficial to actually work for it. And then also with all the stuff that's coming out in the media recently with regards to X Factor and the Psycho label and all of that lot, like I'm kind of glad that people are being a bit more switched on about it now, and that actually, if you want a shortcut, there's going to be a hell of a lot of strings attached to that shortcut. So yeah,
and overnight fame, and I mean, you've seen how it was. Gareth Gates. I mean, he went into drugs. I mean, you can't cope because you've got. I mean, I can't. I think I'm a private person as well, so I don't want like cameras all the time in my home interviewing people that I know. I mean, in a nice way, that's fine, but I don't want them digging into my family's past or into my friends' past. And it's not fair, and I don't, and that's the part of it that I never liked. So yeah. Anyway, that is my Pop Idol story. It's an exclusive because I don't think I've ever told anybody.
Oh wow! There we go, guys. Spill it exclusive. Love it. So yeah, carry on then. Carry on your story.
So yeah, so then I came back after that. I mean, it affected me, not really, but I didn't really have anything to do because in music college, after the end, they were like, well, either you become a teacher or you go into the cruise ships. And I didn't want to become a teacher, and I get seasick, so I didn't want to go on cruises. So I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? So I did feel a bit depressed. I think I was depressed for quite some time. But the good thing about it, I had some time. I started reading all the books that I never did when I was younger. So I kind of went into reading mode and found a new sense of life. And but then I did kind of make myself. There's a jazz club here, and I dragged my parents to go with me to these jazz clubs like every week, and I got to know people and musicians in that club, and some amazing musicians came to Swansea. They toured the musicians from Ronnie Scott's, the musicians from the Blue Note in America, and and then I got to sing with them, and that's how I got my reputation known. And then I just sang with various bands, and actually I sang loads of pop stuff. I did wedding stuff because I wanted to do other stuff, and then I wrote an album, which I like to say probably like the thoughts from my head. I got into Facebook, and literally there was the time when Facebook I think was getting big, and I just have dreams about like status updates from Facebook. I thought, all right, let me just write that down, and I should have actually labeled the album Facebook Thoughts, but I didn't. But I wrote an album, put it out there, and I think it kind of then put me up a level because I was writing my own music, and then people became more interested. And I think I put something on Instagram and Facebook, and then I got contacted by an independent record label in New York, and we did a collaboration, and that was really, really cool. And then I kind of went away from the jazz probably a few years ago, and I got into country rock.
Wow.
I just love Nashville. So Nashville, the TV show. I don't know if anybody's seen it out there. I got obsessed, and then everything was just country, and I wrote a few singles and put it out there. And I did a duet, which was my last song. So yeah.
That is crazy. That is such a journey as well. It's such a change from jazz to country rock.
Well, it's funny because the jazz, if you're a jazz musician or jazz singer, it's probably you do everything, you do a range. But a lot of people, they're very one single mind orientated. But I don't think you can, even doing the circuit, you don't really make a living just out of jazz unless you're famous and you make it. You have to play, like I knew musicians of Ronnie Scott's, and they play in funk and Massive Attack and like bands such as that. So yeah, like a country rock.
That's brilliant. So where did you go then? So obviously you've done the music thing. You did your last piece of music, which was the duet. Where did the voiceover stuff come from?
Okay, so while I was doing the music thing, I wasn't very good at speaking over the microphone. I was quite shy, and so I like to face things head on. So when I realized that I was camera shy after that Pop Idol experience, I kind of made the effort to get everyone when I was singing to bring video cameras so that I could just get over the fear of cameras. Having a normal camera is fine, but video cameras really did freak me out. So when I realized that, I realized that I wasn't very good speaking, and you have to be a good talker if you're going to entertain the audience when you're singing. So I thought to kind of attack that, I would try and interview random people and just talk to random people. So I did that, and because I had access to musicians, I started with the Ronnie Scott's musicians. You got Derek Nash from Jules Holland. You had Darby Todd, who was he played in some funk punk band. It was quite mad. And Winston Blissett, who's bass player, he's the one who played for Massive Attack. And then you had American people coming down here. So who did I interview? Kyle Eastwood, so Clint Eastwood's son. He came to play.
Wow.
I know, he was absolutely amazing. And then also another Rat Packer who unfortunately passed away a few years ago, but his name was Buddy Greco. He did an amazing version as Lady of a Tramp. If you want to Google it, it's just absolutely iconic. So that actually went quite well. So then I did do a lot of interviews, and people kept saying I had a nice voice, but I never actually really took it on board until probably about 2 years ago, when I kind of moved away from the music thing, and it was depressing me and I didn't want to do it anymore, do it professionally anyway. So I was kind of looking for things, and I think my older sister suggested it. So I kind of thought, okay, yeah, that's kind of resonated. So I bought the equipment, kind of made a show reel and started putting it out there, and I got some good feedback. So okay, maybe there's something that I can do. And I really loved it. So I'm still doing it.
It's so good. I'm just wondering what has been, because as Carolyn said here, wow, from a still wee girl to a fab traveling go-getter, there's going to be something that has inspired you to keep going, and there's kind of lit a fire in you, because let's face it, from a very young age, you were diagnosed with X, Y, and Z. These have obviously affected your life. You fell into a depressed state as well later on. What kept you going? What was the thing that inspired you to keep going?
It's a hard thing to say, because I think my family as well, they kind of wouldn't, they're the go-getters type, and they wouldn't let me just sit around and not do anything, when really sometimes I just really wanted to do that. I just literally wanted to watch TV and just not just drift away and not face reality. And I think and my sisters, they're like, no, you have to get out there, and make me put makeup on, when I really didn't. I'm not the makeup type. And when I was younger, and I used to go clubbing literally so many times that without makeup, and they used to dress me up like a doll. So I think my family, and then I met some amazing friends when I was 16. I went to Kasane College, and I think it's having that support system, and also maybe just having a belief. I guess that when I did read all those books, I kind of got into, when I was spiritual anyway. My mother is very spiritual, so we used to go to psychics when I was younger. So I had that kind of background. And then when I started, I loved the self-help section when I graduated. So I think I read everything about the self-help section. And then I read a book called Conversations with God by Neil Donald Walsh. And it was that whole philosophy about putting your mind, focusing on what you want, and then your mind will create your reality. So I tested it a few times, and it did work. I mean, it didn't work so easily all the time. So then I'd not do it, and then I'd do it again, and I'd not do it. But there was always that inner knowing that if I wanted something, I actually could have it. And then when I practiced that, I realized that I could have it. And I think it stemmed from that. So when people are depressed, or they're going through something really bad, and I can really tell them from my experience that actually, if you actually put your mind on something, what you see creates your own reality. So it's just having that focus to not really be positive, to be positive, but it's not just all about, I'm gonna be happy and positive and great things are gonna happen to me. That's not how it works. It's just that you have to have that inner knowing and that belief that things will happen, and then it will happen. So I think maybe just all those things put together kind of gave me the maybe the fire to keep going. And otherwise, what else? I mean, I don't know what else there is. I would sit back and, I was always the person to want something to happen, even if I did force myself.
What advice would you give to someone who may be holding themselves back because of thoughts, feelings, ailments, anything like that? What advice would you give to someone?
I would say, well, back to what I was saying, is that the world doesn't have to be as it is. You have to, yes, accept where you are, but you don't have to daydream about your reality. When people daydream, it's great to daydream, but daydream what you'd like to happen, not how it is right now. If we always talk about money, because actually the money is the easiest thing to manifest. I know people say it's not, but actually, if you try, it actually is, out of all the other things. So, if you daydream having an amazing amount of money, or winning, I don't know, I mean, try small things, or saying, oh, I really would love a nice red car, and then just putting it out there and just thinking about it, how it would feel to be in that car, and all the things around it. It's the feelings as well. It's the emotions you put behind the thought, and it actually becomes reality. And I wouldn't say it if it didn't actually happen quite a few times, and it happening more these days than it used to. I think of something, and freakishly enough, literally it happened, and I'm just like, oh my god, that it'll be freakish. So now I have to kind of be careful about what I think about, and kind of thinking in like I am, or I have, rather than I want things. So I have it means it's already there, it's already yours, rather than I want. Well, yes, you do want it, so it's always going to be that step away from you, and you're never actually going to experience it. So I would say that if you're kind of not sure about what the things that you're going through right now, I think writing everything out about how you're feeling, and then making a plan how you want things to happen in little stages, little steps. There's no point going from one to up a hill when you're there and then you're straight to the hill. So kind of like your journey maybe of how you're going to get into that hill, because they're practical steps, and then it's not something that's out of your reach. So I always say that practical little steps to reach your journey to where you want to be, and then you'll be surprised. You look back and you're like, oh my gosh, I wrote that out. So be realistic, but then don't settle for, if you don't like where you are, don't settle for it.
I absolutely love that mantra. I'm going to start doing that. Writing things out and putting it into the universe, if you will, like the things that I have, rather than what I want. Because you're right. Like if you're constantly thinking, I want this, and you're never going to really get it, because you're always that one step, like looking at it going, I don't have it. And so therefore you're going to be pushing yourself further away. Whereas if you are happy with what you've got and what you have got, and work on those to basically get the thing that you actually want, then it'll work. I absolutely love that mantra. I love it. Absolutely love it.
It is, because then you're coming from, because if you say if you think you want something, it means you're coming from a place of lack, and the universe, you put out there universe hears you, what the thoughts you put out there. So if you're saying that you don't have it, the universe is going, okay, you don't have it, and it's just going to give you more of what you don't have. But whether if you say I have this, the universe will go, yes, you do, and then you'll experience it, and that's how it works.
I do really like that. It's going to be something that I'll definitely start practicing as of tonight. I'll start doing it as of tonight.
Do it, and then you'll have to give the results.
Yeah, definitely. Guys, if you are watching this as well, I urge you to do the same. Let's start that mantra together. Let's do a spill it mantra, and we'll go forward doing that. And I want to know your results, and then we'll obviously feed them back to Amy as well, and let her know of any success stories with putting things out into the universe like that. So what is next for Amy?
What's next? Oh my gosh. Well, I think because I've only started talking about myself actually this year. It's surprisingly actually, I used to tell people things about me on a need-to-know basis. So there's a lot of things that I never used to say, and that's kind of pushed people away, I guess, or not make people feel close to me. But I kind of wanted to kind of solve that problem, because I didn't like how far apart I was feeling from people. So I started telling my story at the beginning of the year. So I think more things like that, and hopefully maybe inspire people to just do feel a little bit better. I think when people always say when they hear my story, then maybe they feel about their life isn't so bad. When they can kind of compare it. So I think more things like that. And my voiceovers, I'm really focused on that. I'm really loving it. Actually, I love voicing things, and and helping people use their voice. I mean, if anybody wants a few tips, just get in touch. I'm more than happy to. I think especially on Zoom, when people are talking over Zoom, I know it's not easy for some people, especially to be engaging. The amount of times that on a Zoom meeting and there's just one person that's going, okay, now we're going to do this, and and then people you just hear, I'm just like, oh my gosh, this could really be great if you're trying to fall asleep, but when you're trying to engage people, even in a boardroom or in a meeting, you want to be bit more animated. So if anybody wants some advice on how, and it doesn't take a lot, just a few little things that you could do to to help yourself. So I love doing things like that, helping people. That'd be great.
I love that as well. And I think so. I liked what you said then was about you only just starting to tell your story now, and that really resonates with me because that's something that I've only just started doing now. I've started talking about my story. So I set up Spill It back in June 2020, and it was a way for other people to share their stories and things like that. And I've talked to, as exactly the same as you, a need to know basis. When people have asked me questions, I'll tell them. But like, I don't talk about my life. I don't talk about my history. I don't talk about my past. And more recently, I've started opening up. I've started talking to people about me, about what makes me tick, about my past, about my history. And actually, me doing that now is finding, even though I'm obviously in a very, very good place, but I'm finding myself on another level beyond that because I've started talking about me and sharing my story. And I think the reason for that is because, as you said, you're inspiring other people through your story, through your experiences, and people are listening to that and taking it on and then thinking, do you know what? This person inspires me and I can do better, or I can think differently. And I've had people come up to me afterwards, like after many like different interviews and whatnot, and just said that, your story really, really resonated with me. And it's something that I've downloaded this episode that you've done, or I've talked about this and talked about my experiences and how my experiences help shape them. So yeah, I completely get like about the whole talking about yourself now and using that as to inspire others, because that's essentially what I'm doing now. And I think that's what we have to do. I think as a people, we need to share our stories because they will help someone. It might be in the smallest of ways, but our stories, our experiences are always different, and they could really help someone that need it.
Absolutely. And you don't know who's listening at any particular time. So maybe one week somebody, nobody gets inspired. And then another week, maybe somebody's at that state of mind and they just need what you have to say. And it just about changes their life or just makes them feel happier. And so I think it is kind of, everyone has a different story, even if you think that they're all the same. But, no one is the same.
Yeah, I say this quite a lot as well, that two people could go through exactly the same things in life. They could go through the exact same thing. However, their experience is completely different because we all have our own individual feelings, our own individual emotions, and therefore we look at things differently. That's why we have to share our experiences. Talk about your stories, talk about your life, talk about what you can do, because not only will it better yourself, but also it gives other people the inspiration to look at your life and think, how can I learn from their experiences?
Yeah.
So is there anything that we haven't talked about that you would like the opportunity to discuss now?
Oh gosh. No, I think we talked about everything.
That's fine. We've talked a lot. To be fair, we've covered quite a lot. I'm very happy with this episode. I think this, it's been insightful, and it's even I'm seeing a lot of things within myself that I didn't realize beforehand. And obviously, speaking to you is kind of lit like little light bulb in my head about certain things and certain feelings and all that lot. So thank you for that.
Oh, is there anything you want to ask
me? Other than, where can people find you?
Okay, well, I do have a website, amysinha.com. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Facebook, LinkedIn, and all social media, even Clubhouse, although I'm not much. I was obsessed with it at the beginning, but not so much now. So yeah, you can email me at amy@amysinha.com.
Nice. What we'll do is it will post all them links as well after the show, so people can have links to you guys. If you are wanting to contact Amy, then all you have to do as well go onto the Spill It website, www.spillit.uk, and if you can go onto the upcoming episodes section, you'll find a lovely picture of Amy and her description there. And there's a little button. If you press connect with guest, it'll take you directly to Amy's website, where you'll obviously be able to contact Amy for everything else and more things that we talked about tonight and other things that you might have questions about. So yeah, there you go. Have you got some final thoughts for us?
Oh, I do. Okay, I'm going to read it because it's on my website, and people always bring this up. So I do have a motto that I do actually live by, and everything I'm about to say, I actually do myself. Yeah. Okay. So my motto. Let me find it. Okay, so the impossible is always possible. All it takes is a little imagination, belief in yourself, patience, and determination. Also, never stop applauding yourself, because fairies really do exist. And I should know, I'm really small. I'm like a fairy, and I clap myself all the time.
I love that. What does that motto mean to you?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
Yeah. I think that it means to me, I think it's what I've experienced. There's that, all these things, I never thought that I would graduate from university. I never think I'd get a degree. The doctors never thought I would get a degree. I actually did get a degree, and, I never thought I'd write an album. Yes. Yeah, I did. I never thought I'd do anything with New York. Yes, I collaborated. So, all these things. I never thought that I'd get to meet Kylie Stewart. So all of these things that you never thought was possible actually is possible. You just got to put the thoughts out there and literally believe that it's going to happen, and have patience. Nothing. Some things happen overnight, absolutely, but then sometimes some things take a little bit longer. So just believe that it will happen, and just stay focused, and just stay true to yourself, and don't worry about everybody else, what they're doing, and the competition, because nobody is you. And I think that's one of the things I've learned in the music industry. I'm happier not being in the music industry, because I'm not comparing myself to anybody else, or having anybody else's viewpoints on what I should be doing and who I am. So that is what it is to me.
I absolutely love it. Thank you so much for sharing your story, for being so vulnerable, for talking about absolutely everything, because you've inspired me, for one, and I'm sure that you've inspired plenty of other people who are watching at home as well. Linda's straight in the comments there saying, what a very inspirational young lady you are. Mm-hmm. Leela has put very inspirational. Well done, Amy. Yvonne has said, fairies are real. I've talked to them. There you go.
Good. Great. Me too. That's so cool.
No, but honestly, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been an absolute pleasure. And you are free to say your goodbyes.
Oh, well, thank you so much for having me. And yeah, no, if anybody does want to get in touch, please do. I love talking to new people. So yeah, let's say goodbye, and yeah, that's it. That is it.
Perfect. Right. Well, I will speak to you soon. Thank you so much again.
You too. Thanks for having me. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Wow. Oh my God. That was such a good episode. Yvonne there straight away. Amy, legend. Could listen to your voice all night. There you go. See? Oh, what a great episode. Absolutely loved it. Thanks. Enjoyed your fairy tale. Oh, I love that actually. I enjoyed your fairy tale. Yeah, I love that. That's gonna go on the podcast. Oh, it was such a good episode. Thank you guys so much at home for tuning in and listening. Next week, we are going to be speaking with Laura Sylvester. Laura Sylvester has overcome eating disorders to tell her story and be an inspiration to others who may be going through mental health issues, etc. She has turned her life around and become an actual life coach using her experiences through eating disorders. What a great episode that is going to be to watch. And I hope that you guys will share with me that episode. Sharing me with that episode. Share with me that episode. I don't know. Incorrect English. My name is Marcus Wright, and you can find all episodes on Spill It, including all upcoming episodes on Spill It, including getting in touch with my guests every single week by heading over to the Spill It website at www.spillit.uk. You'll also find access to all of the podcast episodes as well, and the Facebook hub where you'll be able to watch every single episode, including the very, very first episode, the pilot episode from season 1. If you are wanting to support me as well, you can do. All you have to do is head over to the website and you can buy merch. You can buy these lovely Spill It hoodies. You can also get the Spill It t-shirts, and you can also get the Spill It beanie hats as well. Or on the website, you can also join the official Spill It Patreon, where you can donate as little as £2 per month. That's less than the price of a coffee. That's less than a bus thing. £2 per month. If you donate £2 per month, it just helps me keep Spill It going, and I'll be able to get other stuff to make Spill It even better for you guys at home as well. Don't forget as well, you can invite people to join the Spill It community by inviting them to like the Facebook page or to the YouTube channel, or to follow me on Twitch. And also, if you're listening to this via Facebook or Apple Podcasts, then you can leave me a review. All I ask for is 5 stars. Do you know what I mean? It's not a lot to ask for. If you didn't enjoy this, obviously you don't have to leave a review. But if you did enjoy this, leave me a review. Give me 5 stars. Drop a comment or whatever. You know, I'm open to everything. But it just shows that, Spill It is a great thing that we're building here. The community is growing. Every single week, the community is growing. It's fab. So if you think it's fab, then drop me a review over on Facebook, or if you're listening to this via Apple Podcasts, then you can drop me a review on there as well. And the main way that you can support me at the moment is by heading out and voting. If you go over to the Spill It website, www.spillit.uk, on the main page, you will see a link to vote for me. Just drop me a vote. That's all you have to do. I'm begging you. I'm pleading with you. That's all I'm doing. Okay. We did a prize. We're going to draw, the prize draw to win a Spill It beanie hat. Now, as I was doing this, as I was getting ready for this, my laptop died, so I can't actually share this video. But I have got it over here on my trusty handheld device here. There we go. For anybody that hasn't entered yet, please type in #Spill It and you will win. You could win, a beanie hat. I am just about to do the draw. Here we go. Did it already get me? Yeah. As long as you typed in #Spill It, it'll get you. So if you haven't typed in #Spill It, make sure you do it now. Or if you want to double check, then type in #Spill It right now, because I'm about to draw the draw. In 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Dun, dun, dun. And our winner is Yvonne. Yvonne, you have won a Spill It beanie hat. All you have to do is drop me a message and let me know which color you would like, and I will sort out a Spill It beanie for you. Congratulations, Yvonne. Okay. And that then takes us to the end of the show. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Make sure you tune in for next week's episode. And don't forget to vote. I've left it on the screen because it's very, very important for me. And if you've already voted for me, that's fab. Get your friends and family to also vote. That's all I would ask for. Let's get everybody voting. Let's get them votes for me, please. Thank you so much. Because I would absolutely love to be shortlisted. If I don't win the overall thing, whatever. But let's get me at least shortlisted, all right? Because there's a lot of people up for this award. So I would love to be shortlisted, because that means it's only me and a table of people, which means I have more of a chance. Okay. Right. Until we spill it again, it's bye for now. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Spill It. If you haven't subscribed yet, now is the perfect time to do so. Spill It goes live every week on Wednesday at 7 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And a special thank you to these amazing teacups.